Well, as you know in my last video, my prediction came true. The Alabama Crimson Tide won the SEC championship game, just as I told you they would in the last video. However, it wasn't quite as I thought it would go down. And I want to make something clear. Well, actually, first off, the mic. It may be a little jacked up, I'm not sure. I'm still experimenting. I haven't really done many videos with this mic before. So I need to figure out, the best way to adjust my audio levels and stuff. So if it's too loud, I'm sorry. If you can't hear it all, I'm sorry. I'll get it fixed in time, I promise. But hopefully this video won't be unwatchable because it's extremely important. And I hope you guys stick around and listen. Well, in all honesty, I do not want to talk too much about the SEC championship game in this video. I'm going to talk about it, obviously, but I'm going to talk more on Georgia's perspective. I'm an Alabama fan, and trust me, I'm going to be talking a lot about that game between now and the Notre Dame game in a little over a month and a half or so. So, yeah, you'll hear a lot from the Alabama perspective. I'll be breaking down the game a lot, but right now, I'm just going to talk about Georgia. Okay, if you watched my last video, you know I'm not particularly a Georgia Bulldogs fan. And, right now, I feel the need to apologize to, the Georgia fans for what I said in my last video. I believe that video was necessary, and I believe that I was in the right. And I still think I am. But I need to apologize because I feel like I did not accurately show that I believe the your team had a shot in this game. The way I talked was like Georgia has no way of beating Alabama. And I'll be honest, if someone had asked me, when I made the video, if I thought that, I would have said no. That's why I play the game, obviously. What I meant in the video, though, was that Georgia is not as skilled as Alabama is. And Alabama's more prepared, and basically I was talking about how all these people are giving Georgia the advantage over Alabama. Not necessarily, saying that they don't have a shot, but saying that Georgia should not have the advantage in this football game. And I still stand by that. I mean, Georgia's lost to several teams who they should have won to. Oh no, that was wrong. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. Georgia played close games that could have gone either way to several teams they should have blasted. They should have beat South Carolina first off, and they got blasted by them. Florida's a very close game when Florida handed them the victory. Tennessee was a close game, and actually, I know it doesn't matter now, but I picked Tennessee to beat Georgia because I was not sold on their talent. But I was sold after the SEC championship game, that's for sure. Now, just going by Georgia's history this season against good teams, I felt it was only logical to pick Alabama as the favorite. And they overall were the favorite, but there were still some sportscasters saying, look out for Georgia. And I don't want to go too much into my last video. You can just watch it. But basically I was saying, people are saying Georgia's hot. They're not playing anyone good. I still stand by that. I still say that Georgia was not really tested. But I feel that I need to apologize because I didn't give them credit for winning the games. I didn't give them the credit that they deserved for being a one-loss team like Alabama was. I didn't put them in the same tier as Bama or even Florida. I felt like the Florida Gators deserved to be in that team in that game over Georgia. And in the way I don't anymore, but I'm not sure if Georgia could have played that way consistently. I'm not sure Alabama could have either. But I'm not going to go into that. I'll just say this. I've never seen the Florida Gators this season play as well as I saw Georgia play Saturday. So, with that being said, I think Georgia had a right to be in that game. I think they deserved it. And my God, did they play their hearts out. That's what I want to talk about now. The Georgia Bulldogs need to be commended and congratulated. This was the most competitive football game I have ever seen, and it really could have gone either way. Obviously, since Alabama won, they got the players of the game, but if Georgia won, there's no doubt the player of the game would be Aaron Murray, and he was by far Georgia's best player. And he has historically been very bad in big games, but he stepped it up on this particular day. He was phenomenal, and he proved doubters wrong. He is truly an elite quarterback, being able to come into the game like this, with the most pressure on him he's ever had, and play so well. And the way his play helped keep this game really close. And in all honesty, if you ask me right now, if the game was played 10 times, who would win? And I would say Alabama would win 5 and Georgia would win 5. That sounds like a cop-out, but I'm dead serious. The game could have gone either way. And you need to especially commend Georgia on that last drive of the game, where if that guy had not caught that ball, I feel like Georgia would have won. You add 20 seconds to that clock, Georgia wins. And I'm sitting there with my jaw dropped. and crying, really, because that was the most competitive game ever. And Georgia should walk out of there with their heads held high. The coin did not end on their side; it ended on Alabama's when they flipped it, of course, to decide the outcome. But man, oh man, they played their hearts out. It was a fantastic, fantastic football game. I feel like the image in the background right now is the best representation of what this game was. It was man football. It was two powerhouse football teams playing their best, playing the best I've ever seen them play all season long. And then there's Notre Dame over there. Really, the national championship was just an afterthought. This was the national championship game. Notre Dame is going to get destroyed by Alabama, and I'd be saying the exact same thing about Georgia if they had won. Now, that's a topic for another video. I'm not going to get into it. But when Georgia had the ball with about 3 minutes to go, this is the part where they ended up having to punt, then Alabama punted back, and then they had that scary drive. You see, this is when there were about 3 minutes to go and Georgia had the ball. I said aloud, I was kind of at a gathering, so I said aloud to all the people around me, I said, the team who wins this game deserves it. This was one of those games where sometimes if a team loses, it's because of some fluke or some, dumb call. No. And I know there were some calls in the game, yes, that Alabama guy should have gotten a penalty, but I'm not going to get into that really, because that's not important anymore. But, man, it was such an even match. Really, it was. There were some penalties, obviously, but they wouldn't have changed the outcome, I don't think. Not in this particular case. And, I'm at a loss for words, really, to describe how incredible it was. But, it was man football, something Notre Dame has never experienced in their life. They call it man football, I guess, when they play those lowly teams, but these were two elite powerhouse teams. In all honesty, this 1 and 2 best teams in the country based on the way they played Saturday. And Notre Dame, they're not top 10. I'm not gonna get into that. I'm sorry, but if I made the BCS, Georgia would be number 2, Alabama would be number 1. We'd be having a rematch because I don't think it gets better than how it got in Atlanta. I do not. And I mean, just an overall great game. And to all the Georgia Bulldogs fans, there's no possible reason for you to be disappointed in your team. They came in there and they played lights out better than they've ever played all season. I mean, I haven't been impressed with Georgia's play. They impressed me. They made a believer out of me. I'll be cheering for them in their bowl game. They should be getting a BCS bowl, but sadly that's not how it worked. This is how the cookie crumbles. They don't get one, and that's very, very disappointing. But yeah. It kind of sucks for you guys, too, because this was really y'all's season to get it done. But I'm proud of Alabama, of course, because I'm a fan. But, man, oh, man, if you guys had won, I would have been upset, but I would not say you guys didn't deserve it. Y'all were fantastic. Walk out with your heads held high. You guys played like the second best team in the nation. I listed off teams, I think, in my last video that could have beat you guys. No, the way y'all played, no one would have beat you except for the team that did. I think the better team won. But, Georgia, you guys were so much better than I thought you guys were going to be. For all you Georgia fans, be proud of your team. I don't want to get in much more detail, but that's about all for this video. And I'll see you guys next time.